We launched our research at the end of 2009, and it got global coverage. We listed the top 5. Well, I listed the top 5 here. The top 5 tax havens are USA, with Delaware, Nevada, and Wyoming as particularly corrosive places, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Cayman Islands, and the UK in descending order of priority. The UK comes as a bit of a surprise to many people, but you have to realise that the UK has extraordinary devices, not just to enable non-domiciled to avoid paying taxes, but our common law opens up opportunities for massive tax avoidance and evasion through a very simple Anglo-Saxon device called the trust, which lies at the very heart of it. It's very ironic that the trust is actually the source of much of the abuse that we're concerned about. Since the majority of tax evasion schemes involve trusts, quite clearly there's a major lack of transparency here. It doesn't require trustees to disclose payments to beneficiaries. In other words, you set up a Jersey trust, and you, sitting in England, receive disbursements from that, and no tax authorities will be aware of the fact that you're receiving that money. It doesn't require disclosure of beneficial ownership of companies. So I can set up a company in Jersey and do anything in the world, anything at all, any crime at all, and get away with it. And there's no way you, an investigative journalist, and I work with investigative journalists all the time, can ever find out who's behind that. It doesn't require companies to file financial records if they're not trading in Jersey. It refuses to cooperate with the European Savings Tax Directive on automatic information exchange. It has a very weak information exchange treaty network, and it allows companies to relocate, a process called redomiciliation, leaving no trace of their existence behind them. And these people have the effrontery to say that they are transparent and cooperative and well-regulated international financial centre. I was working for a company called Touche Ross. You might have heard of them. I had complete access to Touche Ross's offshore files in Jersey. What I found in those client files included insider trading, market rigging, avoiding disclosure of conflicts of interest, illicit arms trading, illicit political donations, contract kickbacks, bribery, fraudulent invoicing, trade mispricing, and tax evasion. That's one person working for 2 years in one company. One evening, the Wall Street Journal called me at home. They said, Mr. Christensen, we know you're the economic advisor of Jersey. We're investigating a corruption story which involves Jersey and a Swiss bank, Cantrade Bank, which was a subsidiary of UBS. And we believe that your office is responsible for licensing them, and that you are refusing to cooperate. Now, when an American journalist, a trained investigative journalist, rings you up at night and puts a question like that, I knew nothing about this at all. I said to him, look, I'm going to go to my office tomorrow morning. I'll investigate this. If I find that what you're claiming is true, I will cooperate and I will open the books to you. I'm entitled to, because my job description as a civil servant actually allowed me to talk and cooperate with journalists. It's written in my job description. Following morning, I found out that what he claimed was true. And when he called back that night, I said, okay, I'm going to cooperate with you. I told my boss, who was the chief advisor of Jersey, I'm cooperating with the Wall Street Journal. Didn't make him feel very comfortable because he was actually the person who had licensed a fraudulent trader who hadn't been investigated at all. And the problem was that the head of Jersey's Financial Services Department at the time was the senior politician, the island's most senior politician, the head of the Finance and Economics Committee, and he was also on the board of directors of Cantrade Bank. And that's why they were refusing to cooperate. Anyway, there's my resignation letter for you, September 17th, 1996, front page of the Wall Street Journal. And as you say, this was the first time that Jersey was actually challenged publicly as a tax haven and as a secrecy jurisdiction which is used basically to hide one level of corruption after another. As the Wall Street Journal concluded, they are living off lax regulation. As it happened, I couldn't resign. Everyone knew it was me, but they couldn't get rid of me. That's the thing about being a civil servant. So I left in due course in 1998. If you get the opportunity, have a look at this brilliant report published by my colleagues at ActionAid, we are a network, we're not an organisation, we're a network, and ActionAid Britain, or International, is part of our network. They did a fantastic little study which was published just before Christmas, looking at Africa's biggest brewing company, SAB Miller, who are also the brewers of Grolsch. I hope you can see the billboard they put up in London in December: premium taste, premium tax avoidance. We set a senior revenue and customs official to work to investigate why Africa's largest brewery was in fact established and all its profits emerged in the Netherlands, a tax haven, and in Switzerland, another tax haven. And they did a lovely case study showing where their Ghana brewery paid no tax at all on a massive brewing operation, whereas the woman running a tiny street trading enterprise immediately outside their gates was paying €45 a month. In other words, the street vendor outside their gates was paying more tax than the entire brewery. A very good case study. We think that tax avoidance is costing developing countries up to £160 billion lost revenue a year. Aid flows in the other direction, approximately £100 billion in total. Do the maths and you see that just tax avoidance alone, let alone tax evasion and illicit financial flows, more than outweigh the aid programs.